Greetings adventurers, I'm Lauren Gaming, and I'll be your guild advisor for this video. This time, we'll be going over the current Rampage. This Rampage will last until July 9th, and in this Rampage, you can gather natural stones and red natural stones from the levels in order to create the Grand Axe, Garrett's character weapon. Even though the global version of the game does not have a 4-star Garrett yet, it doesn't hurt to have it ready for when we do get one. The 4-star Garrett in the New Year's banner in Japan's version of the game is quite the amazing tank with a taunt skill that is AoE and very reliable, and also having a strong attack that restores his health. Either way, we're probably waiting until January to get our hands on this Garrett, or we can look forward to getting a brand new one in the future. But we're still waiting on that 4-star Tiona so my Urga from last Rampage can do something. Can we please rerun last year's summer banner while we approach the new summer event? Anyway, if you are a newer player and need to be shown the basic ropes to Rampage, you should first refer to my Rampage and crafting video, because in this guide, I'll strictly be going over the final boss that shows up in the last level of all 3 difficulties. All the other enemy layouts are exactly the same as the previous Rampages, excluding the final boss. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with the fight. After you clear through the first 2 waves of the last level, you'll come face to face with Killer Kong. If we take a look at the boss's details, we can see it has 20% physical resistance. The reason mine says 5% is because I'm using the Detective Ani assist that reduces enemy physical resistance by 15%. If your strongest characters are physical, consider using Anya or legendary Artisan Hephaestus to lower his physical resistance like I am. One thing to mention is that Silver Moonshadow Bait can do extra damage against him, since Killer Kong is a beast type enemy, and Bait's Beast Killer ability makes its attacks 50% more effective. Of course, if your Bait is only level 60 and your other characters are limit broken, he may not be useful to you. Killer Kong has a 50% weakness to fire magic, so if you have strong fire magic wielding characters, they will be good to bring. Characters with fire attacks include Argonaut Belle's Firebolt and Bashful Elf Lafia's entire moveset. Ironically, their new versions, Honor Secession Belle and Elf's Honor Lafia, are probably the best choices for this. What incredible timing for the Rampage, considering the current banners. Huh, Crunchyroll want that money. Even though the new Belle is a physical unit, his special attack is considered a fire magic attack, and its power is based off his strength. So, if you're using a physical party with Belle, his special will pretty much make Killer Kong cry. Right now, Elf's Honor Lafia is rather hard to get, because you either have to pull her from the general pool, or choose her with an adventure exchange ticket, but since this Rampage lasts until July 9th, you can get Lafia from her banner on June 28th before Rampage ends. But for now, let's break down Killer Kong's moveset. Earth Sledgehammer is a single target earth magic attack that hits rather hard. Ravage Quake is his AoE earth magic attack that's also respectable in damage. His Double Sledgehammer is a single target physical attack, and Destructing Howl is a powerful single target physical attack. He also has a curse skill that applies Null Guard to one of your party members, preventing them from being able to guard his attacks. So, he has a wide range of available moves, single target and AoE, physical, and earth magic based attacks. You could bring assists like Owns and Hestia to decrease his strength and Mikoto to decrease his magic, but since he has access to both types of moves, you may be better off killing 2 birds with 1 stone with an assist like White Dress Seer, who increases your party's endurance. Characters like Kino and the new Gale Disguise Ryu will come in handy because they both lower strength and magic with their attacks. 2 other characters that can protect from the boss's earthquake of damage are Iron Will Oka, who can increase your party's endurance, as well as direct single target moves to himself with his cover skill, and Almighty Fighter Osfi, who can cut that damage your party receives from attacks by 30% for 3 turns. As always, assists like Naza, Miak, and Amid will be useful for regenerating your health during the fight, if you're fighting that your healer isn't doing enough. Also, remember to equip some good armor. If you're new to Rampage, they recently added the Earth Cloak and Earth Cape, which can give your units some earth resistance to help against the boss. There is a way to do this fight that may be tedious, but it's also extremely reliable. It will require 2 different assists, Minstrel Elf Aina and the Sly Cat Chloe. Aina can nullify the first magic attack done to your allies, or 2 attacks if she's +5. Conversely, Chloe does that same thing with physical attacks. This means, during the beginning of your fights against Killer Kong, you have a good chance to nullify his attacks on the first turn. Even if you just have one of these assists, you stand a good chance of surviving that first turn. And surviving that first turn is all that matters, because this is a Rampage where quests don't cost stamina. If you have a weaker party and don't think you can survive multiple turns against the boss, you can attack on the first turn, nullifying his attacks at Chloe and Aina when he attacks, and then retreat from the battle. Retreating from a battle during Rampage saves your progress in the fight, and you can come back to that same point in the fight at any time, and the boss will have the same amount of HP you left it with. Just remember that your special bar resets when you retreat, so use it if you have a charge up. The incredible upside to this is the fact that once you come back into the fight, your assist skills will reapply, and you'll be able to block its first magic and physical attacks again, and repeat the process over and over. It might be a grindy process, but if that's what you gotta do, who can blame you? Of course, you can speed this process up if you have a strong party and can stay in for multiple turns. If MP becomes a problem, you can heal your party up to 3 times a day, or, alternatively, go to an easier level in Rampage and take advantage of an MP regen assist character like Brains and Beauty Aina or Goddess Devotion Hestia. Also note that Elven Awakening Lafia and Sparkle Princess Eyes have passive MP regen, as well as skills that restore MP. 3-star Shakti for the Grand Day Eve event also has an MP restoration skill. So, build your party so it can withstand the first turn of Killer Kong, whether that's through Aina and Chloe, or with a combination of adventure debuffs, buffs, and other defensive assist skills, and say hello to a Rampage completion. You'll get a wonderful 140k Valis for completing Very Hard, and will now be able to select a Very Hard level to farm for crafting materials. If you would like to know the best spots for farming materials, reference my Rampage farming guide. In that guide, I mentioned you can get crystals for Osvi's weapon, but because we're in a new Rampage, we'll get stones for Garrett's weapon on those levels instead. This will happen with every new Rampage that adds a new character weapon. The old materials will be moved to the material exchange shop, where you can exchange Mumbo gems from irregular encounters for the older materials. Don't forget to craft the various new weapons and armor added from this Rampage to collect your time-limited Hero Fauna and Iris rewards. And that concludes my guide for this Rampage's boss. I hope you found this information useful and use it to teach that monkey a lesson. Do it for Papa Gareth. If you found this video helpful or informative, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more content. To stay updated on what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord for any questions and discussion. Continue enjoying your time adventuring in Aurario and the dungeon. This is Lauren Gaming, and I'm signing out.